Hello and thanks for staying with us. Western Marine Command impound goods worth millions of naira. Also on Customs reports, the Contract General of Customs speaks, plus more report. I am Igiseme Itinye. Stay tuned. The Contract General of Nigerian Customs Service has said that government will always support foreign policies that will better the customs operations in the country.
All of us as Nigerian Customs, members of the Nigerian Customs Service, find it very disturbing. Disturbing in the sense that we are now faced with another phase of destruction of our own society. And therefore, because of the seriousness of the business of today, I will crave your indulgence, especially the gentlemen of the press, that I read a script so that you will get the details of what happened. I don't want to skip anything. The service is not making concerted efforts to ensure that only maximum revenue is collected, but also to safeguard the security and well-being of our citizens. We are all aware of the dangers that the deliberate non-compliance to import and export procedures pose to our nation as importers bring in all manners of items which put the security and health of the nation at great risk. Terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminal enemies get hold of these unaccustomed goods, such as uncontrolled drugs perpetrated and to perpetrate their heinous activities. It is in line with the determination of the fight to fight this ugly trend that the Apapa Command of the service intercepted 40 by 40 feet containers, mostly from India, laden with tramadol and other pharmaceutical products, with a duty-paid value of 7,318,978,065 naira only. Let me repeat this. 40 by 40 feet container, which that means there are 40 containers. What we have seen there, we just brought out few so that you can have a look at it, but we have 40 of them at the port that we have been able to profile and extract under the same intelligence that we have received. So we have 40 of those containers containing tramadol and other pharmaceutical drugs. The service achieved this feat through vigilance and intelligence gathering within the system, as well as information from the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, which is a strong ally of the Nigerian Customs Service. I commend the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeye, and her management team for their collaboration in the attainment of this feat. It is indeed worrisome to note that there are Nigerians who are ready to make money at the expense of human lives by bringing in such quantity of drugs that have grave consequences on health and national security. In their criminal desperation, importers of these items offered bribes to the tune of 150 million to my officers to effect the release of just one container with promises of even bigger sums to follow in the event that their first attempt succeeds. The officers played along and eventually arrested 3 suspects with the money. These are the 3 suspects before you, and of course this is part of the money. This dollar quantum here is $274,000, which is equivalent to 100 million naira. The other component, which is $138,000, which is equivalent to 50 million naira, is on its way coming. Like it was explained by the PRO, first it was taken because when FOU collected that money, they sent it to the customs headquarters for custody. And when we decided to have a press conference, we thought we should bring it back. But the accountant who is supposed to come with it is on his way coming. So the total money we have in dollar is $412,000. And that is, when you translate it into naira, It's amount to 150 million naira. Let me assure you that the ongoing investigation will be thorough to bring all those remotely connected to justice. Gentlemen of the press, it is indeed heartwarming to brief you on the stand of this command against any importation of or exportation that contravenes the provisions of the Customs and Excise Management. Apapa Command, within this same period, has also seized 2 aircraft, a helicopter with registration number SN-BLI, which was intended for export, in container number PONU7789246. It was falsely declared as 388 bags of cashew nuts. This action violates Section 36 of the Customs and Excise Management Act, SEMA, Cap 45, Laws of the Federation, 2004. Investigations are ongoing to fish out the owners of the helicopter.
You are watching the program Customs Report.
Federal Operation Unit, and I will say Happy New Year to you, because since last year when we showcase our products or our CJO, this is your first time to have another one. This CJO come yesterday night. We seized used cloth. Later we discovered that there's some concealment of some this police equipment, police security gadget, which are very, very dangerous to the security of the nation, because we don't know where they are going. When you look at it, they are very small, but it's not the quantity, it's the havoc they are going to commit with this type of thing. If you can see, this is a tear gas, this is a police ID card, these are the belts, the ranks, the uniforms. So this is part of the concealment we discovered yesterday night, and we have suspects whom after investigation then we call you and let you know what we did about it.
Yes, we can see that there are ranks here.
Yes.
What do you have to say to this?
We have the rank of sergeant, inspector, sergeant, the berets, the belt, and what do you call it again? Okay, the badges of rank, all belong to police. So that's what we have. You can see the ID card is not named, it's only, printed without name. So maybe later they'll just pick the name of whoever they like. No, it concerns the nation's security. Look at it. I say it's not the quantity, it's the havoc is going to commit. You see now, one bundle, this can at least accommodate about 10 people. If you call them fake fake police officers, 10 fake custom police, police officers, I don't know the atrocity they are going to commit on the road. At the end of the day, they will say police. After all, they are not the genuine police, they are the fake police. So that's why you see.
The Customs Area Controller in charge of Western Marine Command has impounded goods worth over 197 million naira for smugglers operating on the high sea. He said that hand drugs with street value worth over 21 million naira was also impounded by his men. He speaks more on a number of issues.
First and foremost, we don't have casualties. Thank God for that, and thank God for the professionalism of our officers. They've been all very professional in their actions. So we don't have, and we don't pray for any, and by God's grace we shall have none at all. Amen. Secondly, in terms of cooperation with other agencies, we are in line with it. We are, and it's part of the instruction from the CGC down through the management. We cooperate with the Navy and with the police, the Marine Police. We're in consonance with them, and thankfully, thanks be to God, we really understand ourselves, and they've been of great help to us in all our seizures, and we've been cooperating very well. Then in terms of logistics, you'll find out that the CGC with the management have been able to help us to get some of our boats working. And with that, and when you know the bureaucracy of trying to get some things done. You cannot just go into the market like a businessman to just say, okay, I need 2-3 boats and it's done. No, the government bureaucracy, we are going through it, and the management in its wisdom is pursuing it graciously, and we'll soon have them with us, especially our vessel that is parked at Marina. We'll soon have them working, because very soon our officers will go in for training, and that's exactly what I said, professionalism. They'll be well trained to handle it and to maintain it.
Interagency cooperation.
We've been cooperating very, very well. NDLEA too, we'll have them. NAVDAC too, yes. And especially, that's why I said, especially with the Navy and the Marine Police. In terms of the warehouse, yes, we just had a hitch along the line. You have IDPs that have been given allocations, but they are yet to come and pick them up. I think maybe due to logistics or so. But I think what they're supposed to come and pick has gone bad. I don't know if they'll still come for it. But we've written to headquarters. It's for them to decide, maybe in collaboration with those governments, to tell them that these things are not good anymore. If they can just have them destroyed, and let's see, and clear the warehouse. Because this year, 2019, it's a tough year for the smugglers. If you're still ready to be there, we are ready to put you out of business. Most times what they do is they just jump into the sea and disappear. And you cannot leave what you're supposed to hold and be pursuing them. My message to them is that if they are not ready to stop, we're not ready to stop. We'll keep pursuing them and we'll get them.
Well, it seems like your warehouse is filled up. That's why.
Yes, that's why already we've written headquarters for the warehouse to be evacuated. If the bad ones, we destroy them, clear the warehouse, and ready for this year. We are going to bring in more seizures, and with the empowerment, we are ready to go. Especially the vessel that is on Marina. Once that is launched, with other vessels that will be given. It's just like a customized car. You don't just wake up and go to the shop to buy a customized car. It's specific. So when it's ready, but it's there. They are working on it. The management is not sleeping, and we are not allowing them to sleep. And they know our problems. We need more of these vessels. And you cannot, that's why I keep saying it's not a business venture. This is a government agency, and there's procedure for everything. Yes, as of this building you're seeing, or these offices you're seeing behind, it's just a new structure where we've put up as part of accommodation for our officers, for their offices. We want something befitting before the main befitting structure comes up. So this is what we've been able to do with the assistance and backing of headquarters. That's what we've been able to put in place. Secondly, on the issue of what do you call it? The structures, the environment, it's still there. The buildings will soon be there. Some of the buildings are not ready, and I think it has to do with administration. But the headquarters is up and doing about that. They'll take care of that one. Yes, and it's not for us to bring them up.
Yeah, have you been holding meetings with any?
Yes, apart from on the community issue, yes, we have. I've gone round most of our outstations, and I've been able to meet the bales and all obas of that place. And we've had useful and healthy discussions, and they are really cooperating. And we always make sure that we carry them along in all that we do in our various outstations.
The customs controller in charge of semi-border has continued to speak on the implementation of government policies in the border. The controller says that the service will always operate government policies in regard to ECOWAS trade. He speaks more on a number of issues.
As custom officers, it is our routine duty to patrol the borders and also to examine goods with eagle eyes to make sure that the maximum duty is collected, set out for such goods, whereby there was or intended concealment to avoid prohibition. We will also put our eagle eyes to make sure that both the maximum revenue is collected and goods that are prohibited or to come in or out are not allowed. They are confiscated and seized. Since we are knowledge-based about the operations, custom operation vis-a-vis the international law on cargo transit. This is why I said it is not an international law on cargo transit. It's known to any custom formation or administration as a member of World Custom Body. And that's what we do. At a regional level, we have the Common External Tariff. That the Common External Tariff serves as a platform for the unification and the harmonization of duties and collected taxes and duties collected at the border. This platform strengthens, it solidifies the common trade policy of the ECOWAS region. It also serves as a reference point for negotiation with the Economic Partnership Agreement of the European Union, ECOWAS, and the future regional bodies. So armed with this knowledge, we collaborate, we interchange ideas, and we implement the policies as dictated by the ECOWAS tariff and the global custom body laws and regulations. Duty paid value is over 1 billion within this period under review. Revenue generated on goods that are prohibited, they are also allocated value. So the two are assessed and the final figure is out. Take for example, if there is prohibition for the importation of particular goods, the service has the peculiar privilege and authority to allow such importation, and the rate of applicable for duty payment of such item will apply as in the tariff, but that must be done. The information must reach the customs service before the importation. I am saying in 2019, we are more committed to ensure maximum revenue generation, total implementation of the federal fiscal policies, goods and services.
The Customs Area Controller in charge of Murtala Mohammed International Airport said the revenue generation of the command will continue to exceed government projected revenue in 2019. She made a comment in a special interview with Customs Report.
The issue of tramadol, first of all, I say it's very disheartening to know that people still do these obnoxious things by bringing in tramadol into the country. There are certain milligrams of tramadol that are allowed to come in. When those containers of tramadol were seized in Apapa and Tinkan, I knew the next stop was going to be the airports. And we had to wake up. I had to put my officers in high alert because we knew they were going to bring it in, either using sachets or whatever means to bring them in. And that's why you've seen the ones we have already. And we apprehended some people. And I always make sure that there is a precedent Because if people do unwholesome things and the law does not take its course, others will follow suit. And that was why last year, we have a case in courts right now. Those who came into NACO to take out some goods without payment of duty. Of course, they are being held in the prison right now. Their case came up in December. The same thing you've seen here right now. Since January, we've had a lot of them arrested for bringing in goods that are not allowed to be brought in, or either trying to take out consignment as confessed by them when you interviewed them, trying to take out consignment without payment of duty, because I make them understand that this will not be tolerated, because the CJ will never tolerate that.
Yeah, we also saw donkey skin in your system. I didn't know why on the seizure.
Of course, they're not allowed to be exported out. Most of these animals are really they're extinct because people just feel they can make money out of things like this. It's banned. You're not to export them. You're not even to kill those animals. And that's why when they come here, we try to make sure that we seize them. And we've been doing it. And yet, they don't want to put a stop to it. Some of them, we try to do our investigation. Some of them, we have no choice than to put them in the cell, and then, most of these things are bailable. So you have lawyers coming here. We don't want to infringe on people's human rights, because everything about customs raises the dust. So we also want to do the right thing as far as the law is concerned. So because they are bailable offenses, we have to they have to get them out on bail while investigation is being carried out. As long as you're there you go to import your consignment, you should be ready to pay your duty. There's no point giving it to one agent who doesn't know his left and right, and who is there he goes to the importer and said, okay, I can take out your consignment for 200,000 naira. Of course he knows that even the 200,000 naira cannot pay the terminal charges. He's not collecting that money because he wants to go through the procedure, the clearance procedure. He's taking that 200,000 because he wants to steal out the consignment, because he knows that even 1.something million cannot clear the consignment. And the importer will say, okay, yours is cheaper. So there's no level playing field for the agents, because one person goes in and takes 200, another one goes in and says, oh, I need 1 million to clear. The one who goes for 200,000 is just out there to steal the consignment out of the shed. And we are also holding the terminal operators responsible, because I've told them, you are the custodians of these goods. And I don't see any reason why these goods should be stolen out of
Tula of Apapa has said that the current government has generated a total of 404 billion naira in 2018. Speaking further, a total of 73.1 billion naira was generated on export, while the command recorded 9.6 billion naira for 72 seizures intercepted by the service.
This consistent and unprecedented increase in revenue could be attributed to the selfless stance of the officers and men, as well as the support and backup by the Controller General, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, and his management team.
So the World Customs Organization has further improved the policies on customs operations in the country. The Customs Boss commended WCO 400 Apapa Customs Command as one of the highest revenue generating command in the western zone of the country.
The achievements recorded by the command in 2018 earned us the recognition by the World Customs Organization. The action of the command, which is certainly in tandem with the extant laws and guidelines of the service, are made owing to infractions such as false declaration, concealment, and outright disregard to the laws of the country.
He urged Nigerian importers to always come clean with their documentation while clearing their consignment at the nation's ports.
Thank you very much, sir.
Just before round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where the Controller General of Customs says that Nigerian Customs Service will continue to implement laws as applicable to clearance of consignments in the country. For me, Igiseme Etinye, thanks for watching.